Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video on this channel. Today I'm going to be giving updates on everything that has happened with NEWJEANS, as well as a summary of the whole situation because there's been so much going on that it's honestly hard to keep track. And finally, the court has given a resolution to all of this, which doesn't mean it's over, but at least we now have some answers. So without any further delay, let's start with the story of NEWJEANS. NEWJEANS is a group formed in 2022 under Ador, a subsidiary agency of Hybe Corporation, and from the moment they debuted, they achieved massive success with songs that went incredibly viral both in Korea and internationally. The problems began in April 2024, when Hybe launched an internal audit of ador after discovering that Minheejin, the CEO of the label, had allegedly made moves to gain full control over the company, essentially trying to separate it from Hybe's management. At first, everything was quite private, no names were mentioned in the early reports, but it didn't take long for people to realize that those reports were about Minheejin. Soon after, Minheejin held a press conference, publicly denying that she had tried to take over Ador and instead accused Hybe of mistreating NEWJEANS. She claimed that Hybe had asked her not to promote NEWJEANS before the debut of LESSERAFIM, and also said that Hybe was trying to undermine NEWJEANS' success with the creation of illit. She even filed a formal complaint, accusing Hybe of copying NEWJEANS' concept for illit, and that's when everything exploded. Everyone ended up suing each other, and at one point, even the parents of the NEWJEANS members publicly supported Minheejin, backing her claims and expressing their own concerns about the situation. They released a statement saying, "We express deep concern over the controversy that has risen with many similarities in concept, photos, music videos, etc., styling, choreography, and more between NEWJEANS and a group that debuted under another label of Hybe. These similarities appear to be the result of intentional imitation by Hybe/𝒉𝒆𝒍𝒐 Lab. It is deeply regrettable that another label under the same parent company could plan a team that is intentionally reminiscent of NEWJEANS' debut era within just 1 year and 8 months since NEWJEANS' debut. It was pretty obvious that the group they were referring to was illit." The parents also mentioned the alleged mistreatment from Hybe, saying that Bang Si-hyuk ignored the NEWJEANS members and their greetings whenever he ran into them at the company. Of course, Hybe denied all of these accusations. In the middle of all this chaos, Source Music, another sub-label under Hybe, sued Minheejin for 3 main reasons: for claiming that she personally selected the NEWJEANS members as trainees, for saying that there was a broken promise from Source Music to debut NEWJEANS as Hybe's first girl group, since LESSERAFIM, under Source, debuted first instead, and for accusing Source Music of neglecting the NEWJEANS members. Following these events, Minheejin resigned as CEO of Ador, although she later clarified that it wasn't voluntary, and that the board of directors made that decision without her consent. Afterward, Hybe offered her a new contract to continue producing music for NEWJEANS, but without the CEO title they had taken away from her. She rejected the offer, explaining that it was unreasonable because the contract included clauses that allowed Hybe to terminate it at any time if her work performance was deemed unsatisfactory. Then came the turning point. NEWJEANS publicly sided with Minheejin, first through social media posts and later by showing their support at an award ceremony, making it very clear whose side they were on.
마지막으로 저희를 항상 아껴주시고 그리고 지켜주시는 저희 민희진 대표님 정말 사랑하고 감사합니다.
Everything blew up in September 2024, when the 5 members of NEWJEANS went live on YouTube from a newly created account, openly criticizing their company, Ador, for firing Minheejin. They said that she was the only person they trusted and that they couldn't follow Hybe's orders without her, so they demanded her reinstatement, which, of course, never happened. One of the most talked about moments from that live stream was when they called Hybe an inhuman company. The only concrete example they gave came from Hanni, who told an anecdote about how, supposedly, a manager from another Hybe group, she didn't say which one, but it's now known that it was illit, had told the members of that group to ignore her when they crossed paths. Hanni then took that story to the South Korean Labor Committee, claiming that she felt hated by the company, and that the new Ador CEO couldn't protect them because of how that manager had treated her. However, that event allegedly took place when Minheejin was still CEO, so the new director had nothing to do with it. After that, NEWJEANS reportedly threatened to leave Ador, claiming there were serious breaches of contract. They even sent a formal letter stating that they planned to terminate their exclusive contracts if things didn't change. Then, in November 2024, the South Korean Ministry of Labor dismissed NewJeans' harassment claims, explaining that, under the contracts they had signed, the members were not considered employees but rather exceptional entities, a legal technicality that made it impossible to pursue the case in that jurisdiction. Later on, though, surveillance footage of the incident would be discussed publicly. After that decision, NewJeans officially announced they were terminating their contracts with Adore, holding a press conference where they insisted they hadn't broken any rules, while Hybe had by firing Minheejin. Hybe, on the other hand, argued that the contracts were still valid, and that NewJeans couldn't unilaterally terminate them. Around that time, Minheejin started distancing herself from the members, saying she had nothing to do with their decision to cut ties with Hybe. Not long after, the members created a new Instagram account called Jeans for Free, which led Hybe to file a lawsuit against them for unauthorized use of the brand name NewJeans. In response, the girls changed their name to NJZ to avoid further legal issues while continuing to communicate with fans under that new identity. Here the parents got involved again, saying that they were taking advantage of Hanni's South Korean residency status, since possibly, as a foreigner, Hanni holds a work visa, and it was Adore that provided her employment. However, if she claims that she is no longer part of the company, she would have to either find a new sponsor or return to her home country, because legally she cannot reside in Korea without employment. Apparently Hybe was exploiting that situation while also attempting to cancel the performances that the NewJeans members were trying to organize independently, since the company holds exclusive rights over the group's entertainment activities. In March 2025, the first hearing between NewJeans and Hybe took place, and what each side defended was, on NewJeans' part, that there had been a loss of trust in Adore and that Hybe had breached the contract by dismissing Minheejin, while Hybe argued that their contract was with Adore and not with Minheejin, and that they have the right to replace the CEO without that invalidating the agreement. During this assembly many things were discussed, especially how Hybe had allegedly tried to remove the NewJeans members as brand ambassadors, since during that period several brands did not renew their contracts with them but did so with other groups like LeSserafim. Hybe stated that they had always provided financial support, investing over $14 million. And that NewJeans had the privilege of debuting under the same label as BTS, which gave them considerable exposure. Shortly after, a court injunction was granted to Adore against NewJeans' independent activities, meaning that the members could no longer perform without Adore's authorization, although they did not comply with the order and released a song titled Pitstop. But soon after they announced a hiatus due to the ongoing situation. Throughout this entire process NewJeans said that they would be willing to return if Minheejin came back, but Hybe did not accept and additionally announced legal measures against the violations of the court order. NewJeans appealed the decision, yet the court upheld it, so the group brought the case to the Seoul High Court, which also dismissed their appeal a month later. Here public opinion began to shift. Before everyone supported NewJeans since it isn't hard to imagine a company mistreating its idols, but soon chat messages were leaked where Hanni downplayed the incident with illit, saying, "The second she saw me she seemed shocked but still bowed. She just looked very startled and uncomfortable greeting me. Her body and face kind of froze. Honestly, we didn't really need to do that among ourselves, but when the manager said that, it felt a bit off personally. So rather than feeling bad, it was actually kind of funny. It just made me think once again, oh, we're really working with such great people. I don't care about them at all. So if you're worried about that, don't be." And images also appeared showing that the greeting did actually happen, although it's possible that the manager did tell them to ignore her since the video had no audio.
I don't care what other people say.
On top of that, people pointed out that even though the group claimed mistreatment by Hybe, the only examples they gave were that incident and the dismissal of the one person they trusted. It's also hard to understand how they have so much trust in Minheejin, a woman who has been found guilty of workplace harassment against a former Adore employee, someone who allegedly made key work decisions based on advice from a shaman to whom she paid over $30,000, someone who reportedly wanted to perform black magic to get rid of BTS during their trainee years, a person who has faced accusations of allegedly liking young children and keeping suggestive photos of them hanging in her own office, someone who frankly seems incapable of working without creating controversy. And now we return to the present, where the Seoul Central District Court ruled in favor of ador in its request for judicial confirmation of the validity of the exclusive contracts of the 5 NewJeans members. The court stated, "It is difficult to conclude that ador breached the exclusive contract solely by dismissing former CEO Min Hee-jin," and added, "Even if Min Hee-jin was removed from the CEO position, she could have continued performing producer duties as a board director, and it was not necessary for her to remain CEO to do so." The court also ruled that Hybe's audit of former CEO Min Hee-jin, who had launched a media campaign with exposés claiming that illit and lesserafim copied NewJeans, was lawful. Their statement said, former CEO Min Hee-jin initiated the battle of media play first as of April 3 and April 11, 2024. She waged this movement not to protect NewJeans but for the purpose of achieving independence. The court likewise rejected NewJeans' claim of workplace harassment, specifically that a manager from 𝒉𝒆𝒍𝒍𝒐's Labs girl group, illit, made disparaging remarks about NewJeans member hanni. NewJeans said they would appeal because they disagreed with the decision, but honestly it doesn't seem like it will lead anywhere. This has been a summary of everything that has happened over the last 2 years, and I won't be giving my opinion in this video, though if you'd like, I can make a separate one just for that.
And this has been all. I hope you like it. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did, it would help me a lot. See ya.